Mike is very consistent. Are we starting? Yeah. Okay, here we are again. This is now definitely going to be the final two-game match between Mike Lucente and Jeff Austreng. Winner of this will be the 2021 Michigan State Senior Masters champion. Mike throws his first ball and starts out with a 9 count. Jeff made an incredible comeback in that first match, being down 65 pins after the first game to win the match by 7. You want a break? Okay. Mike's up there for his spare, shooting at the 10 pin, and he makes it easily. Okay, break's over. Jeff's up in the first frame, throws his first ball. Oh, God. Starts out with a 4-10. Split. But we have a long way to go. Jeff's going for it, see if he can make it. It's got a chance. Nope. He gets 1 pin. So Jeff starts out with an open frame, total of 9 pins. But Jeff started out kind of slowly in that first match. Came on very strong at the end in the second game. This is Jeff's second frame. Ball's on its way, coming back up. And he carries. Nice strike. Mike lets his ball go in the second frame, gets 9 on the first ball. And you can see Mr. Mark Martin's up there making a technical adjustment on the left lane. We have a pin down on the deck. Mike shoots for his spare and covers it. And now we're going to have a quick break while we get that pin out of the way on the left lane. So while we wait, you can get up and make yourself a sandwich. Go grab something to drink. I said, you know, you can get up and make yourself a sandwich. Go get something to drink, you know. If they'd make it fast enough, I'd order another hot dog and I'd have something myself, you know. But I want the audience to know I'm drinking tea with a little lemon in it. It appears that they got the pin out of there. Pins aren't quite set the right way, so we're going to get a re-rack here. Okay, we will continue. So now Mike's up on the left lane, the third frame. Approach, the ball is off. And it sounds good and looks good. Mike strikes. Now Jeff's up on the right lane. Ball's off. It's in the pocket, and he kicks the 7 out at the very end, so that gives Jeff a double, which basically makes this match all even right now. Frame. And Jeff strikes in the fourth frame, giving him a 3-bagger. And just as I said, the match right now is all even. Mike lets the ball go. Oh my God. Mike leaves the Greek church in the fourth frame. That gives Jeff the lead. Just a matter of count. Mike's going for it. And he gets 3 pins. So Jeff takes an early lead in the first game of the final match. Michael lets the ball go in the fifth. The 4-pin won't go down. And Michael makes a spare. With a couple of strikes here, Jeff can take a substantial lead in this final match. Jeff's up in the 5th frame. And he strikes. 4-pin was the last one to come down, but he strikes. 69. 22. Jeff strikes here, he'll have a 24-pin lead. Ball's there, and he does strike. Jeff is now really on a roll after that second game of the first match where he shot 257. He just continues on. He's had one little mistake. That was the very first frame of this game when he left a split, but he's gotten 5 in a row since then. Michael up there. And Michael strikes. Michael's not giving up. Michael needed that strike. He needs another one here to stay close, or reasonably close. Ball's on its way. Oh, a little high. Leaves a 4-pin again. Michael shooting for the spare, converts his spare. So that gives Michael a 105 in the 6th with the spare up in the 7th. Now Jeff's up in the 7th frame. He strikes here. He's going to put some serious hurt on Mike here. Ball's on its way. Oh, another beautiful shot. That gives him 6 in a row. Gives Jeff a 44-pin lead. And Jeff carries another one. That's on 59. That brings Jeff's lead up to 54 pins after 6 frames, but Jeff's got 159 to 6 with the double up. Mike's got 105 and a 6 with the spare up. Mike's got no choice but to start to strike. Strike often, and he doesn't. He gets an 8 count. 8 count in the 8th frame. Which increases Jeff's lead. Michael converts the spare. Michael's going for a ball change or something. He just stepped away from the. Yep, he's looking for a different ball. If Michael were to strike out in the 9th and 10th, he would end up with 203. But Jeff, in the meantime, is heading at a 279 pace. And Michael does strike in the 9th, giving him 143 in the 8th with a strike up in the 9th. Jeffrey throws the first ball in the 9th, and he strikes. And he's suddenly become a strike machine also. Jeff started this tournament with a 299 in his very first game of qualifying, so it looks like he's back to that form, throwing nothing but strikes. Jeff is now up in the 10th, first ball. wasn't happy with that. Left a split. 4-10 split. And he got one pin. So it says 189. Yeah, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strikes. And he's got a split in the first, and he ended up with a split in the 10th. 189, 99, 209. Well, Mike's got no choice but to get as many strikes as he can here to, and he does. He strikes in the first ball in the 10th. Michael strikes in the second one. So Michael does have a chance at that 203. But Jeff would still take a substantial lead going into the last game, being that he shot 245 in the first. And if Mike strikes out 203, Jeff will still take a 42-pin lead going into the last game of the final match for the State Masters title. It's on its way. Oh, he gets 7. So he gets 200. So Jeff is up by 45 pins with 1 game to go. Okay, here we go. Jeff is up. First shot of the second game, and Jeff starts out with a solid 10 pin. And Jeff converts, got his spare in the first frame. A little different start than the last game where he had a split and only made 1. He starts out with the spare. And Michael comes back in his first ball of the second game with a solid strike. Mike doesn't have much choice at this point in time. Michael up in the second frame. Ball's on its way. And, leaves a solid 10 pin. Nice 9 count. Mike could have used that strike right there to cut into the lead, but no such luck. makes his spare, converts 10 pin. Now Jeff Austreng's up in the second frame. Ball's on its way. Jeff gets it. Ball comes up a little light. Jeff gets an 8 count. Ooh, that was close. That was close. But Jeff does convert the spare.
All right, come on, back on it.
Okay, after that little scare, Jeff is up in the third frame. Oh. Escapes with no split, gets a 9 count. That could have been a nasty split. Shoots for the 10 pin. Makes it look easy.
All right. Save all.
Michael's up in the third frame. That's his ball go. Michael does powerful strike. And gives Michael 40 in the second frame with the strike up to Jeff's 37. So Michael at this point has a 3-pin lead in the second game, but he's still down overall by 42 pins. Jeff was back here discussing things with his coach, his dad. Michael up in the fourth frame. That's the ball go. And leaves. Looks like the baby split on the right side. Well, it's still early in the second game, but because of the deficit, Mike doesn't really have much choice but to go ahead and make this spare. That's the ball go, and he chops it. He chops it. Jeff can take the lead back here with a strike. Oh, it was a good hit. Ball came through a little too strong. Left a solid 9-pin. So at the end of the third frame for both bowlers, Jeff's 56. Michael is 59, but Mike then opens in the fourth. Jeff just converted his in the fourth. 66. So Jeff with a strike or a good count will take a lead in the second game. Remembering also that he still has that 45-pin lead coming into this game after the first game of this match. Jeff is up in the fifth. Ball's on its way. Oh, he kind of threw it out the window, but got lucky and got at least eight pins on that. Boy, that came awfully close to the right gutter. However, even with that 8 count, Jeff now has a 6-pin lead in this game. And he converts the spare. So at the end of the fourth, the score is 74 for Jeff, 68 for Mike. Jeff's got a spare up in the 5th frame. Mike is just going up the bowl in the 5th frame. And Mike gets an 8 count. Time's starting to run out here. Mike needs his spare, but he's got to start throwing strikes and hope that Jeff doesn't. Mike throws his spare ball. Mike converts the spare. Spare in the 5th. Mike is now up in his 6th frame. Looks like a good release. Oh, just a little light. Gets 9 pins. He's got the 7 pin standing. Mike shoots for the 7 pin to make the spare. Hangs on and makes it. Jeff can do some serious damage over here. If he were to throw 2 strikes, that would almost put the match away. Being that he would have a lead in this game plus 45 pins. Jeff, again. Powerful ball, leaves the 9th pin. So that still gives Jeff a 6-pin lead in this game. Jeff makes the spare. So. After 5 frames, Jeff's got a 6-pin lead. He's now going to roll a ball in the 7th. Ball's out there, coming back.
There you go.
And he throws a solid strike. Jeff's got 113 in the 6th with the strike up. Mike, there isn't much time left. Has no choice but to strike in the 7th frame. And possibly the 8th and the 9th. Mike's up there, and Mike does answer with the strike. Jeff still maintains a 6-pin lead in the 2nd game of this match. And he's got a 45-pin advantage coming in from the 1st game. Mike is now up in the 8th. And Mike strikes in the 8th. That was definitely a must strike for Mike. However, if Jeff throws, I think, the next two, it's all over. I don't even know if he needs the next two, but the best Mike can do is 227 in this game. If he were to strike out, and Jeff throws a double. That just about does it, because Jeff can end up with a 233 to Mike's 227, but then Jeff has another 45 pins coming in. So for all intents and purposes, if Jeff strikes here, it's over. And Jeff is the Michigan State Senior Masters champion. Well, he didn't strike, but you got six on the first. There's a sleeper back there. There's a sleeper back there. Six. Okay, thank you. Oh, and Jeff made a tough spare, and that basically, ladies and gentlemen, even though he didn't strike, ends this match. It's just a matter of what the final count's going to be. Michael struck, but again, like I said, the best he can do is 207. Jeff is currently sitting at 169. Even if he doesn't throw another ball in this game, plus 45, that gives him like 214. So Jeff definitely is the Michigan State 2001 Senior Masters champion. Mike Lucente strikes again. We're making it look good, but it's just a matter of numbers now. The numbers are in favor of Jeff Austreng. He threw another strike. Mike's looking at Jeff and his dad, saying if the two of them were to retire, that Mike might win a title. Oh, the ball's back. Let's see, if he strikes here on the last one, he'll end up with 227. Ball's on its way, last ball. Oh, and he does kick that out of there. Mike ends up with a 227 in this last game for a series in his final match of 447. Mike said he's a pretty good second fiddle. Jeff just finishing it out. Oh, and Jeff throws a strike. 79. And Jeff can end up with 209 in this game. Jeff throws another strike in the 10th. Jeff is just showing off now. And I think Jeff broke the machine. Oh, nope. Here come the pins. One more shot. Last shot of the tournament. 8 count. 207. Jeff shot 207, 227. 452. Is that right? Really? So Jeff Austreng is our Senior Masters, Michigan State Senior Masters 2021 champion. Congratulations to Jeff. Congratulations to Mike. They both put on a great show.